Hello, Heartland fans. Ty Borden's return to Heartland isn't just another plot twist. It's a moment that takes your breath away, stirring deep emotions and shaking the very foundation of the family. For years, fans have mourned his loss, standing by Amy as she learned to navigate life without him. But now, everything is about to change. The promise of his return in Season 19, Episode 1, has ignited a wave of anticipation, not just within the Heartland family, but also among fans worldwide. The air is thick with questions. How will Ty's return impact Amy, who has spent so long rebuilding her life? What about their daughter, Lindy, who has grown up without truly knowing her father? And will Ty himself still be the man he once was, or has time changed him in ways no one could predict? Ty Borden was more than just a character. He was the emotional backbone of the series, a symbol of growth, healing, and unconditional love. His bond with Amy was the heart of Heartland, a journey that inspired millions. His departure left a void, one that could never be fully filled. Fans watched as Amy found her way through grief, raising Lindy on her own and confronting new challenges. But now, Ty's return threatens to unravel the balance she has worked so hard to achieve. This season opener is more than a reunion. It's a reckoning. Everything Amy has accomplished, every step forward she's taken, will now be tested. Can she accept the changes in herself, her family, and her heart? Questions of love, loss, and forgiveness will resurface, leaving everyone uncertain of the answers. Ty's return will bring both hope and turmoil, unearthing unresolved pain and reopening wounds that never fully healed. For Amy, his presence may feel like a dream she never thought would come true, but it could also force her to confront scars she has tried to move past. Ty isn't the same man who left, and Amy isn't the same woman who stayed behind. The road ahead will be anything but easy. This emotional journey will be filled with twists and turns, setting the stage for a season that's about more than just a reunion. It's about facing the past, redefining love and family, and finding a way forward when the shadows of yesterday refuse to fade. Ty's return is the catalyst that will push everyone into uncharted territory. The emotional stakes couldn't be higher, and nothing will ever be the same again. Looking back at the events that brought us here, Ty Borden's journey in Heartland has been nothing short of extraordinary. From his humble beginnings as a troubled young man with a complicated past to becoming someone who found redemption through love and hard work, Ty's story has always been one of growth, healing, and the unyielding strength of family. His departure under heartbreaking circumstances left a void no one could have anticipated. Ty's death was a pivotal moment in the series, a devastating blow not only to Amy and their daughter, Lindy, but also a moment of reckoning for the entire Heartland family. For Amy, losing Ty meant far more than losing her partner. She lost the one person who had stood by her through life's most challenging moments. Their love had been her source of strength, and without him, she was forced to face an uncertain world, one that seemed far less steady. Watching Amy raise Lindy on her own was heartbreaking. The grief and pain were palpable as she worked to rebuild her life, even though it was evident that a part of her would always be missing. The emotional weight of Ty's death extended beyond Amy. Jack, the steadfast grandfather, also struggled with the loss of the man he considered a son. He too had to accept that Ty was gone, and that Heartland Ranch would never feel the same without him. This loss created a ripple effect across the entire family. Relationships were tested, and everyone had to find their way through the pain. Yet, as time passed, the family began to heal. Amy grew stronger, learning to navigate life without Ty by her side. Slowly but surely, she rebuilt a world where she could move forward, even if a part of her heart remained tethered to the past. Now, with Ty's return in Season 19, Episode 1, the delicate balance Amy has built is about to be shaken once more. His return isn't just another plot twist, it's a moment that leaves you breathless. It stirs deep emotions and challenges the core of the Heartland family. For years, fans have grieved Ty's loss alongside Amy, watching her navigate a life without him. But now, everything is about to change. The promise of his return has sparked waves of anticipation, not only within the Heartland family, but also among fans worldwide. The air is filled with questions. How will Ty's return affect Amy, who has spent years learning to live without him? What about their daughter, Lindy, who has grown up without ever truly knowing her father? And will Ty himself be the same man he was, or has time transformed him into someone unrecognizable? Ty Borden was more than just a character, he was the emotional backbone of Heartland. His story embodied growth, healing, and unconditional love, and his bond with Amy was the heart of the series. Their journey inspired millions, and his departure left a void that couldn't easily be filled. Now, with his return, the stage is set for a season filled with emotional highs and lows, a reckoning that will redefine love, loss, and the meaning of family. Ty Borden was more than just a character. He embodied growth, healing, and unconditional love. His bond with Amy was the heart of the series, a journey that deeply resonated with fans. Together, they navigated life's challenges, touching the hearts of many. When Ty departed, it left an irreplaceable void. Fans watched as Amy faced her grief head-on, raising their daughter Lindy on her own while tackling new obstacles. Now, with Ty's return, the stability Amy has painstakingly built for herself and Lindy is on the verge of being shaken to its core. This season opener is more than just a reunion. It's a moment of reckoning. Everything Amy has achieved to move forward will be tested. Can she embrace the changes within herself, her family, and her heart? Questions of love, loss, and forgiveness will resurface, bringing unresolved emotions to the forefront. Ty's return comes with both hope and turmoil. It stirs up lingering wounds that were never fully healed, reopening scars Amy thought had faded. For her, Ty's return might feel like a dream she never dared to imagine, but it also threatens to unearth the pain she's worked so hard to overcome. Ty isn't the same man who left, and Amy isn't the same woman who stayed. This emotional journey is bound to be unpredictable, filled with twists and turns that no one can foresee. The season opener marks the beginning of something much bigger. It's about what happens when the past collides with the present and how love, loss, and family are redefined. Ty's return is the catalyst that pushes everyone into uncharted territory, ensuring that nothing will ever be the same again. Before we delve deeper into Ty's return, let's take a moment to reflect on the events that brought us here. From his troubled beginnings as a young man with a complicated past to finding redemption through love and perseverance, Ty's story has always been one of growth, healing, and the strength of family. Ty's departure under heartbreaking circumstances left a void that no one could have anticipated. His death was a pivotal moment in the series, a devastating blow not just for Amy and their daughter Lindy, but for the entire Heartland family. For Amy, losing Ty meant losing more than just her partner. It was losing the person who had been her anchor through life's most challenging moments. Their love had been a source of strength, and without him, Amy was forced to face a world that felt far less certain. Watching her raise Lindy on her own was a testament to her resilience, but the grief and pain were palpable. Amy had to rebuild her life piece by piece, yet it was clear that a part of her heart would forever remain incomplete. The emotional impact of Ty's loss extended far beyond Amy. Jack, her steadfast grandfather, also struggled deeply with the absence of the man he considered a son. Jack had to come to terms with the fact that Ty was gone, and Heartland Ranch would never feel the same without him. The loss rippled through the family, testing relationships, and forcing everyone to navigate their way through the pain. Over time, the family began to heal. Amy grew stronger, learning to navigate life without Ty by her side. However, Ty's return brings with it a whirlwind of emotions. He is no longer the same man who left, and the experiences he's endured during his absence have shaped him in ways that those at Heartland may struggle to fully understand. For Ty, returning isn't just about picking up where he left off. It's about discovering where he fits in now. He's unsure if he can simply slip back into the life he once knew. The uncertainty of his place within the family and his future with Amy hangs heavy in the air, making his return even more poignant. Jack's reaction to Ty's return is filled with a complex mix of emotions. For Jack, Ty has always been like a son, and his absence left a profound void. Seeing Ty again stirs feelings of deep love and cautious hope, but it also carries the weight of the years they've spent apart. Jack must reconcile the man Ty has become with the boy he once mentored. Meanwhile, Lindy, now older and more aware of her place in the world, is faced with the sudden presence of a father she never truly knew. Her response is likely to be a mixture of curiosity, excitement, and confusion. For Lindy, this is a chance to build a connection with the man she's only heard about in stories. But the reality of Ty's return will be more complicated than a simple reunion. Lindy will have to navigate her own emotions as she comes to terms with the upheaval in her family. Ty's return isn't just about him, it's about how the entire Heartland family adjusts to his presence. Every member of the family will be affected in different ways, but the common thread will be the ripple effect of his reappearance. For some, his return will feel like a long-lost dream coming true. For others, it will serve as a reminder of the pain they've endured and the lives they've rebuilt in his absence. The foundation of the family, once strong and unified, will now be tested as they all adapt to this new reality. Ty's return stirs up emotions that have long been buried, forcing the family to confront their past while redefining their future. As the dynamics of the Heartland family shift, one thing becomes clear. This is not just a reunion. It's a moment of transformation for everyone involved. Ty's return is not a simple moment of joy. It's a confrontation with the past, the unresolved emotions, and the memories that have shaped the lives of everyone he left behind. His presence forces the Heartland family to face the pain they buried, the love they lost, and the changes that have taken root since his departure. For Amy, Ty's reappearance disrupts the foundation she has painstakingly built over the years. The life she created without him, a life defined by resilience, growth, and raising their daughter Lindy alone, is suddenly thrown into question. The deep emotions she thought she had laid to rest rise to the surface, forcing her to confront everything she has tried to move beyond. The reunion with Ty is not just about happiness, it's a reckoning with the grief and love that have lived in the shadows of her heart. How can Amy reconcile the woman she has become with the girl who once loved Ty so deeply? Can she allow herself to reopen her heart to the man who has returned, or has too much time and pain stood between them? The answers are not easy. Amy's struggle is not merely about choosing between the past and the present, but about coming to terms with the emotional complexity of her life. Her memories of Ty, the love they shared, and the dreams they had all come rushing back, but so do the realities of the life she has built in his absence. Over the years, Amy has formed meaningful connections with Nathan and Caleb, finding moments of happiness despite the ever-present shadow of Ty's memory. Now, with Ty's return, her heart is torn. On one side, there is the man she once loved with every fiber of her being, the man who still holds a sacred place in her heart. On the other, there is the life she has worked so hard to build, the bonds she has nurtured, and the future she has envisioned. This internal conflict is not just about love, it's about identity, growth, and healing. The pull of Ty's return is undeniable, but so is the reality of the family Amy has raised and the strength she has found within herself. She must ask the hardest questions. Can she still love Ty the way she once did? What does his return mean for the relationships she has built with Nathan and Caleb? And most importantly, what does her heart truly want? Ty's presence doesn't just challenge Amy, it shakes the entire Heartland family. The dynamics of their relationships, their individual paths of healing, and the bonds they've formed are all tested. For Lindy, Ty's return is both a dream and a whirlwind. Meeting the father she has only known through stories brings excitement but also confusion. She must navigate the complex emotions of welcoming Ty into her life while grappling with the impact his return has on her mother and the family she knows. Jack, too, finds himself wrestling with emotions he cannot ignore. As a father figure to Ty, his return brings both immense joy and deep pain. Jack must navigate his own sense of loss and reconciliation, balancing the hope of rebuilding the bond they once shared with the reality that things may never be the same. Ty's return has set into motion a wave of emotional reckonings. It's a moment of reflection for everyone, a chance to see what was lost, what remains, and what might still be possible. The road ahead is anything but easy. Each member of the Heartland family must find their way through the emotional turbulence, rediscover their sense of self, and decide what kind of future they want to build together. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with uncertainty, hope, and the possibility of healing. Ty's return is not just a reunion, it's a spark that ignites a journey of rediscovery, one that will test the strength of love, family, and forgiveness in ways none of them could have anticipated. Been a son to him, a man who grew alongside his own children, learning to navigate life's complexities. His return stirs up a deep well of emotions in Jack, and it's clear that the love and longing for Ty never truly faded. But just as with Amy, Jack must now reconcile the changes that have taken place over the years. The joy of seeing Ty again is tempered by the reality that things cannot simply go back to the way they were. For Jack, Ty's return is a challenge. The fatherly role he once held for Ty has shifted. They've both evolved in ways that may not align with the past. Jack will need to consider whether he can adjust his expectations and relationship with Ty, or if the passage of time has reshaped the bond in a way that cannot be undone. But his love for Ty, like Amy's, remains unwavering, a constant thread that holds him in the whirlwind of uncertainty. Lindy, now older and more aware of the complexities of the world around her, also faces her own journey with Ty's return. Her emotions, likely a mix of curiosity, excitement, and confusion, will unfold as she comes to terms with the presence of the father she never really knew. For Lindy, this is an opportunity to form a connection with a parent who was once only a figure in stories. But it's also an emotional roller coaster. Navigating this new reality will be difficult, and she, too, will have to decide how to redefine her understanding of family and belonging. As for the rest of the Heartland family, Ty's return forces each person to confront their personal experiences of love, loss, and healing. The equilibrium that Amy worked so hard to create, alongside Jack, Lindy, and the others, will be tested. But it is also a chance for all of them to come together, to find strength in their shared history, and to decide what their collective future will look like. In many ways, Ty's return represents the beginning of a new chapter, not only for his relationship with Amy, but for everyone who has been touched by his absence. There is no easy path ahead, no clear-cut answers. Every relationship, whether with Amy, Jack, Lindy, or the Heartland family at large, will have to evolve, embracing both the beauty of what has been and the challenges of what lies ahead. The emotional journey of this season opener is a reminder that love and family are not static. They are ever-changing, growing, and sometimes broken, but they can also heal and adapt. The road to peace, acceptance, and understanding is never simple, but it is through these difficult moments that true growth occurs. Amy's story is not just one of navigating her feelings for Ty. It's a reflection of what happens when life moves forward, yet the past refuses to let go. The question remains: can she find a way to move forward without leaving behind the love that shaped her? And can Ty find his place in a life that has moved on in his absence? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The return of Ty is the beginning of a journey filled with emotional depth, heartache, hope, and the possibility of new beginnings. Arms, recognizing the love and history he shared with the Heartland family. Others may harbor resentment or doubt, uncertain about how his absence has shaped the family dynamics. The presence of Ty will force the Heartland community to confront their own feelings of abandonment, loyalty, and change. As Ty reintegrates into the life he once knew, there will be a sense of friction, not just in the relationships he holds most dear, but also in the way Heartland itself functions. Ty was an integral part of the ranch's core, and his absence has left gaps that have been filled, though perhaps not completely, by others. The ranch's operations and the people who work there have adjusted, and now they'll need to reconsider what it means to have Ty back, especially when his return disrupts the balance they've come to accept. This re-entry into the family will bring with it both small and profound shifts. For some, Ty's presence will be a source of comfort, as his return offers a chance to rekindle old bonds and relive the good moments they shared. For others, it will be a reminder of the pain of his absence, as well as the emotional scars left behind by his departure. These contrasting reactions will shape the way Ty is welcomed back into the fold. The ranch, always a place of healing, will need to embrace a new form of restoration, healing not just the land, but the relationships that have grown and evolved during his absence. Ty's return also forces the family to reckon with the notion of forgiveness, both for him and for themselves. The time apart has been long, and so much has changed. The trust that was once implicit will need to be rebuilt, piece by piece. Amy, Jack, Lindy, and the rest of the Heartland family will have to decide if they can accept Ty for who he has become, or if they'll hold on to the past, where things were simpler and more familiar. The emotional impact of Ty's return is far-reaching. For Amy, his return is a complex puzzle of love, grief, and healing. Her heart is torn between the past and present, between what she once had with Ty and the life she's built without him. For Jack, his role is that of a guiding force, supporting Amy while also recognizing that her path forward is something only she can decide. For Lindy, it's an opportunity to finally experience the father she's only known through stories, but it's also a challenge to understand how her life will change with his presence. In the end, Ty's return is a reminder of the ongoing journey of healing that the Heartland family is on. It's not a moment of instant resolution, but the beginning of a new chapter, one that will be fraught with challenges, emotional complexity, and the hope that, through time, they can learn to move forward together. The road ahead won't be easy, but it holds the possibility of new beginnings, renewed connections, and the chance for each member of the family to find peace with the past and hope for the future. Ty's return to Heartland represents both a moment of reckoning and a chance for renewal. While his presence shakes the foundation of the family, it also offers a powerful reminder of the unbreakable bonds that tie them together. The return of a lost family member often forces those left behind to reassess their paths, and for Heartland, Ty's unexpected reappearance does exactly that. The ranch itself, having continued without him, is not the same place it was when Ty left. The operation has moved forward, and in many ways, so have the lives of the family members. Ty's re-entry is not just about rekindling his relationship with Amy or fitting back into his old role on the ranch. It's about figuring out where he fits into a reality that has changed in his absence. The very nature of his return forces everyone to confront the evolution of their relationships, the adjustments they've had to make, and the future they're now building. For Amy, Ty's presence complicates a life she has carefully crafted without him. The emotional tension of his return doesn't just stem from the past, it's also tied to the future she envisioned for herself and Lindy. Can she continue her life as it is, or will Ty's return unravel everything she's worked to create? Her struggle is not just choosing between Ty and Nathan, but in reconciling the woman she was with the one she's become. Her heart is filled with love for Ty, but her reality is shaped by all that has happened since his departure. The question of whether Ty will fall back into his old role on the ranch, or whether Heartland will need to evolve in response to his return, is a pivotal one. For Jack, Ty was like a son, and while his joy at seeing him again is undeniable, he too is faced with the reality that the man who left Heartland is not the same as the one who returns. The ranch and its day-to-day operations have evolved in Ty's absence, and his return will require everyone to figure out how he fits into this new dynamic. Jack, ever the protector of the family, knows that while Ty's return offers hope for healing, it also brings the potential for pain. Ty's presence will inevitably stir old wounds, but Jack believes that family can be rebuilt, even if it requires a great deal of effort and forgiveness. As the patriarch of the family, Jack's role in helping Amy navigate the complexities of her emotions, while also maintaining the unity of the family, becomes crucial in the wake of Ty's return. For Lindy, the return of her father is a chance to build a relationship with the man she has heard so much about, but has never truly known. The joy and excitement she feels are complicated by her uncertainty about what this new phase of their family life will mean. She has lived her entire life with Amy at the center of her world, and now, with Ty back, she will have to navigate the balance between the family she's always known and the one that is now reshaping around her. The return of Ty challenges everyone at Heartland to confront their feelings about love, loss, and family. It forces them to grapple with the past while also embracing the possibility of the future. Ty's re-entry into the fold doesn't erase the pain or the years that have passed. Instead, it asks everyone to find a way forward together, acknowledging the growth they've experienced while honoring the love and bonds that have always tied them. The impact of Ty's return on Heartland extends far beyond just the immediate family. The ranch and its extended community will feel the effects of this shift as well. Some may embrace Ty's return, welcoming him back into the fold, while others may struggle to accept him, still holding on to the pain of the past. But at the heart of it all is the understanding that family, no matter how far apart they've drifted, is what ultimately binds them together. In this new chapter for Heartland, Ty's return isn't just about the possibility of reigniting old relationships. It's about embracing change and allowing space for growth and healing. The road ahead will not be without its challenges, but it is a chance for each member of the Heartland family to rediscover what it truly means to be family, through their struggles, their triumphs, and the love that binds them together. As the family begins to navigate this new chapter, they will each have to ask themselves what it means to forgive, to rebuild, and to move forward in a world where the past and present are inextricably linked. The journey of healing, both for Ty and for the family as a whole, is just beginning. And though the future remains uncertain, it holds the promise of growth, connection, and the possibility of new beginnings. Thanks for watching my video. Goodbye, and take care.